Hello. Well, I've somewhat got it working, so I guess I'll record this for you. So what I've done, I mean, just follow the tutorial that I already done. If you want, I already go into the pros and cons and stuff like that of how I'd go about exporting. So if you want to know the exporting side of things, uh, I'm assuming you've watched the video. I'll just cover the importing aspect of things. So what I've done is I've exported um the color. I've exported the height map. As I cover in the video, I think especially like for a game, I probably wouldn't go about exporting the height map. I don't think Unity, but bear in mind I'm using Unity 6, HDRP that is. I don't think there's a like a terrain thing. Unlike Unreal, I mostly use Unreal, but recently we've been doing Unity. But I did export a terrain. You could possibly go about exporting the normal map as well, to be honest. Um, Let me see if that sense. So what I've done is done the default the resolution reduction by 2. For games and stuff like that, you may want to do this more or less. Of course. And we've got there should be the normal map there, yeah, on which you can do. So I would generally try to do a higher resolution normal map, maybe like a 4K to be honest for a terrain. Depending on a little bit mumbo jumbo. But yeah, you can go and import them here. So I'll just quickly name this like normal. I usually do like actual naming conventions. But yeah, pretty simple. Just going, of course, right mouse button, create material. Just go mat underscore terrain. It's your usual Unity stuff. Shove in your color. You can shove in your normal map. If you're doing a normal map, as you probably know, go in texture type, changing that to normal map so it reads it properly. Shoving in your terrain wherever. Add this. Ta-da! Now I got your it'll set up and stuff. So this is just the default stuff. So of course this may change and stuff as you go by your stuff. You can fluff around with the normals if you want to increase the normals. Or of course decrease them and stuff. That's up to you. I think with like a high resolution normal map, you can get this looking really, really, really good. You can play around with like the smoothness and whatnot. So of course you generally want like low smoothness. Generally not shiny. But yeah, I mean, there's not too much to it. That's pretty much the way that I'd go approach it. You can, I guess, do like a height map based, but because there's no terrain stuff, which is going to do like auto stuff, like I sort of had a play around that you can go and make a quad, for example. Oh, actually, no, I tell a lie. There is a way. Give me one moment. Okay, I've spent a bit of time, which you'll probably be able to see by the time thing, but I have figured out how to do the terrains and stuff. It's not actually that complex. I figured that out actually myself. But it's just terrain. Add a terrain. Then scroll down to the final tab here. You can there go and set up a material. So what I've done is, you can just set up your normal material that you used. So we can go click it and set up that terrain material that we did. So terrain, oops, make sure you spell it right. And that's our terrain. And then you can import a raw here. And this is going to import the height map. I don't know why this is treated the case. I do not know if this is a Unity thing or a Geogen thing. If you export the terrain by default, it's flipped in Unity. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. If I export this and go into Unity, I had to figure this out. This is why it took so long. So make sure it's a raw file. It only supports raw. Click import. It's fine. It's reversed. Not too sure why that's the case. To fix that, just use a transform node. And what you're going to do is you're going to flip it on the vertical, I guess, button option, whatever. And what that's going to do is just going to flip it vertically. Don't know why that's the case, but regardless, it does the job. So no complaints. Open, import, you see it's fixed. And ta-da, it's working. this is sort of like, you know, it is a height map, so you're going to have height map issues and stuff. I prefer the result you get from the mesh, you know? I feel like the mesh is just a better result, in my opinion. So I generally recommend the mesh, but maybe there's some like map lodding. Okay, so there are LODs working, as you can see. LOD working. So if you want LODs, LODs, you've got that. Also, you can probably, you may be able to sculpt onto it. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure, to be honest. Probably not, I guess. Maybe not then. But yeah, auto LODs, I guess, is the pro of doing that. Downside, you know, you've got some obvious issues when it comes to it being a height map. So you get a bit of banding and stuff. There may be ways of fixing that. You can probably play around with them, maybe changing like the full range and stuff. I'm not too sure, to be honest. But yeah, that's kind of the way it rolls. So yeah, I hope this little tutorial helps. To be honest, I was probably not going to do one. You know what I mean? Like every program's kind of different, but the whole way that they all work is kind of the same. But I think it took me 5 minutes to figure it out, so I don't think it's too big of an issue making the video. So I hope that helped you. I hope it was informative. I gave you, 2 different ways of approaching it. But they're, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Whether you prefer this way because you got auto load, or you prefer this way because it's generally a nicer result. That's, I guess, up to you. Decide. But yeah, hope that helps, and hope you get some nice looking terrains. Have a good one.